Where is my... Is it visible?
Ma'am, your slide is only visible.
Acha, okay, just wait. Just give me a moment. I have to stop presenting this and then I have to go to that. See, I'm open for discussion. If anybody would like to discuss something in between, they can always, interrupt me and can... So if you see this portal, this is self-explanatory. That this is what I was talking about. This was what I was talking about. The self-certification, patent application, income tax exemption, easier public procurement norms, easy winding up of tools and resources, starting from with the courses, market reports, partner service, and many more. And not only for the entrepreneur, but also for the people who are doing academic research, who are into, teaching. So you can just go through the report and find out what is happening there. And it is updated. There are partnered services. So you can register yourself also. Various schemes and policies and programs. Now, these things, see the way we have been, the way we have been dealing with this, it is really, the way we are moving ahead is appreciable. The way we are moving ahead is appreciable. Now the corporate collaborations. Have you seen this ad anywhere in your Facebook? I would like to, because I'm my screen is full screen, I will not be able to see the chat right now. But if you are able to, speak, you can unmute yourself and say whether you have seen it or not.
Amazon Web Services, ma'am. This one, the startups you are invited. I have seen this.
Yes, you must have seen. This is, yeah. So Amazon Web Services and Intel, right? They have said this is an advertisement, open advertisement. See, it's an open, mind the words. It is an open advertisement saying that startups are invited. And in the second one, when I clicked it, it came that you are invited to join us at AWS Builders Online Series, whether you are a new or a simply curious about AWS Cloud, right? You need to learn how to get to started and accelerate your success on AWS. And it is giving you the reasons to attend. It is just like another program. You would say, that, why am I discussing? I am discussing because I want to discuss with you the startup corporate collaborations. Why? The startup corporate collaborations basis on 3 reasons. One is the investment, merger and acquisition, and open innovation. This is the collaboration, 3 criteria for which these organizations can collaborate with startups, corporate startup collaboration. Investment, you all understand, right? That, okay, fine, somebody is trying to invest in a startup. Some corporate is trying to invest. We have heard about stories about corporates investing in startup. Merger and acquisition, yes. Big Basket bought over by Tata Group, right? Majority is 64% of shareholding. Naturally, that's a positive thing. Merger. Open innovation program. So this example of IAWS is an open innovation program. Now, what makes them, what is that thing? There's no free lunch actually in this world. Everything that we do is charged for. Either you charge money, time, in whatever sense, knowledge, whatever it is, that somewhere we are going somewhere, it is because of some learning or something we get to know something new. Now here, there are two sides of a coin. One is the startup and the other is the corporate. Now, what does a startup have? The startup has the mind, skill, and tool set for innovation to build a new business model. Whereas the corporates, with the passage of time, with focusing into their own businesses, have reduced their thought about it. They are more focused on keeping their business running and generating revenue. Yeah. Yes. Acha, mine is not sharing. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought somebody is interrupting.
No.
Is it okay? I may continue?
Yes, ma'am. You can continue.
So now the screen is okay? Is it visible?
Ma'am, but not in full screen mode. It is reduced.
Yes, I have reduced it. Okay, fine. I'll do it again. Okay. Now it's okay?
Yeah, ma'am, it's okay.
Okay. So the mind, skill, and tool set. And here, for a new business model, the organization is not ready to venture out because it is already busy with its own work routine, the area in which they are present. They do not want to. It is very easier method for, they are not at present thinking of maybe of an starting a organic vertical. The entrepreneurial passion. Now, what happens basically, you must have heard about the term entrepreneurial passion and the intrapreneurial passion. So in a corporate, more of entrepreneurs are there. They are inquisitive, they have this risk-taking ability, but not in the innovative or a new area. In their own area, they would take decision making, they would do decision making, they would take decisions, they would show initiative, right? All the qualities of an entrepreneur, but within that organization setup, not beyond that. Now, in the other side, what we see here is the entrepreneurs has that passion, it has the focus to grow, but it does not have the access to the client, the capital or the resources. Now, this organization the corporate is going to provide these resources, capital, users, distribution. So what is AWS giving them? It is giving the technology. Okay, fine, use this technology and create anything you want. Let us see if you can create something important that we can work with. Right? Something that they had actually done. We have fine. Now, after this background about the boom in the technology, the boom in the startup arena, we move into understanding where did this term startup come from? The startup term was extensively, the most quoted was this Silicon Valley Fever, the book called Silicon Valley Fever by Rogers and Larson in 1983. But that was not the first time where the term startup was used. The term startup was first used in a Forbes article in 1976, where it said, and how did they use it? They used that the unfashionable business, see, note down the terms, the unfashionable business of investing in startups in the electronic data processing field. So the business, it was an unfashionable business, not in fashion, of investing in startups. And what were their startups? In 1976, they were talking about the electronic data processing field. Just try to map it up with the kind of computers, the kind of electronic data, floppy disks, right? Maybe big memory cards. So during that time, they were talking about these startups as the electronic data. The second thing came in the Business Week article when it said that they wanted, the line was, an incubator for startup companies, especially in the fast growth and high technology field. So what we try to understand here, the thing that is coming into our mind is the startup is related to faster growth and high technology since the first time. The next thing that I am going to talk is about the Google Ngrams, and we would like to see that how this term was being used. This is a very interesting feature of Google, where it can find out the words, right? And how it has been used, see, from 1800 to 2019. Let me type out the term startup. Okay. And I will do one thing, because sometimes we write startup, sometimes we write start -up, sometimes we write capital S, right? So let us try to make it case insensitive. So the most used term is the startup, right? And see how it has, the use declined in 2014. It was in its peak in 2001, 2002. And 2002 again it declined, right? And again, since it is still 2019, so we do not have the data of beyond 2019, but till 2018 it was again starting to build up. And now if you see the similar thing from till date, we would find that again it has spiked up. So I wanted to take you out to this system to understand that how this is growing. But how do we understand the startup as? So in India, we define the startup are actually the found with this point. It is said to be irresistible, irreplaceable for customers. Anything which is disruptive. So startup, any entity which is in India, which is less than 10 years of age and less than 100 crores. Let us now try to understand what are the stages of various startups. The first stage of startup, which is a pre-seed startup, it talks about the idea from an idea to a minimum viable product. A minimum viable product, first we'll see it later on. So a minimum viable product is a working product. Right? A minimum viable product is the workable product. And this workable product is the minimum components. If you remember, during our school days, we used to do the projects where we used to join the wires. So that was a minimum viable product. We could see that, okay, fine, the bulb glows when I put on the wire to the plug and I attach it with the bulb and the bulb glows. I do an experiment where I say that the two batteries are joined together and the wire comes from there and the bulb glows. That was a minimum viable thing to show that thing is done. So it is quite different from a prototype. A prototype can be through a CAD or through a CAM. It can be prototypes are usually made by the corporates, or by the enterprises who can have a variation of the products. But here you are validating an idea and converting it into a product which is a workable model, though it does not have the entire features of a product. It is called a pre-seed stage. The second stage, which is called a seed stage, where you have to identify this particular product to the minimum viable product and map it to the product market fit. Now, what comes here? You have to validate, the startup has to validate the fitness of the product with the market. The product market fit, whether it is mapping to the market or not. Mapping to the market, whether we have touched across the right kind of customers, we have identified the needs, and the marketer can assure, and the customer can assure of a repurchase. The third stage calls from the product market. That means the product market fit basically says it is launching. After the seeding, the launching has been done. Now, from launching to the scale-up stage is called the early stage, and from the scale-up stage to the growth equity stage is called the growth stage. These are the four different stages of a startup. Fine. So India's first, now you are seeing that it is 103 unicorns. And beyond 100 crores, it is a unicorn revenue generation. Now, can you tell me, this was the first unicorn in Mobi? In Mobi was the first unicorn. And have you heard about this FANG stocks? So the Facebook, Amazon, Apple, it was determined to be a okay, fine. I had thought it to be a quizzing kind of thing. Okay, fine, but it has gone away. Okay, so the Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google are jointly called the FANG stocks. They were once startups, and now they have, they are doing multi-crore business. See, you remember the same term that we said that, it is irresistible and irreplaceable for the customers. Now, to show you a small video, right? A 3-minute video, just a minute, give me a moment.
Mostly when adversity hits. Hello and welcome.
Excuse me, ma'am. The video is not audible. I don't know whether you have pressed.
Just a minute, just a minute. I have not
Okay.
put it. I have not shared it right now.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm sharing it.
Hello and welcome
Is
to
it
India's
visible?
online talk show.
It's not visible, ma'am. It's audible, but
It is
with
audible,
interruptions.
not
With
visible.
interruptions.
Just a minute. It's not showing on my screen.
Mostly when adversity hits.
Ma'am, probably you have to share the entire screen. If you are sharing only the MP3 file, ma'am, it might not be visible in front of us.
Okay. No, actually, we do it in the class, but I'm not.
Ma'am, actually, I face the same problem with another conduction of a workshop.
Okay.
You have to share the entire screen, not that only part which you
Okay,
wanted
fine.
to
If I
show on.
share the screen
Whole
and
screen, ma'am, whole computer screen, what you were seeing, you have to share
okay,
that to just make it visible in front of
okay,
us.
I'm doing it. Why am I unable to share this? I'm unable to share my whole screen. I don't know why. Wait. It is not clicking.
Ma'am, please have a check. Just stop your front camera and try to check whether it is possible or not by sharing the screen, because it is a dual mode application.
No. Now is it there?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible now.
Hello and welcome to India's
please.
coolest
Yeah,
online
it's
talk
now
show,
audible also.
Chai with me, Lakshmi. We are at www.chaiwithlakshmi.in. Check us
But
out.
ma'am,
The fabulous
the video is not visible. We are able to only see the file page.
Acha, it is not coming. Sound is not there.
Sound is there, but the video is not visible, ma'am. We are stuck up on the file screen.
Okay. This page you are stuck up. Okay, fine. Same.
Hello and welcome.
Same. The audio is audible, but nothing is
fine,
visible except the stuck
I understand.
file screen.
Now what happened? Okay, fine. Just give me 2 minutes. If it is not working, then I'll be back to my presentation.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello and welcome to India's coolest online talk show, Chai with me, Lakshmi.
Okay, let us move back to the
Mostly when adversity hits.
okay, let it be. Let it be. Let us continue with the
You can
presentation.
continue with the presentation, ma'am. If it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
working,
yeah.
you can continue.
Uh-huh. So last year, as we say that, okay, fine, we were very happy with the initial things that were coming up. Like when I said that, that we are number 2 in the number of startups. We have, recently 3 different cities have been, in the top 40 cities to develop that ecosystem, entrepreneurial ecosystem, startup ecosystem in their cities. And these 4 cities, the Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore and Pune, the 25 unicorns, the first 25 unicorns were from these 3 countries, 3 cities. Now, very optimistic and good result, right? But at the same time, this particular thing, that the 12,889 companies and startups were struck off from the official records of 2020 and 2021. If you go by the details, you would find out, that what has happened is, in due course of time, we have basically what has happened is, we find that 90% of the companies are, or 90% are failures, startups are failures, hardly 10%. And you would find that most of them would stop functioning in the first years itself, in the first 5 years also only. That means this is a serious issue when we are talking about building up that ecosystem. When we are talking about strengthening the ecosystem, what comes to our in front of us is that we are able to make our ecosystem stronger. We are trying to make it a number, but at the same time, the number of failures are also substantial. Now, why is it that so? Why is it so? What are the reasons of that? That becomes our major concern. See, 90% of the startups fail in the first 10 years. Now, when we studied about the reasons, various sources said that these are these specific reasons. Number 1 being there is no market for it. Number 2 being the companies, the startups have run out of cash. Number 3 being not the right team. Number 4 being the competition. Cost issues, poor product, poor business model, poor marketing, ignoring. The startups have started ignoring customers. The product is mistimed, lose focus, disharmony, pivot gone bad, lack of passion, bad location, other reasons. See, so many reasons why it would not function the way it was meant to function. So the first reason that you see that there is no market, what is the reason for it? That a proper validation has not been done. A proper validation has not been done. See, financial issues, mentor support, bootstrapping, collecting your information, friends and relatives, other sources you can get through, you can find out different various sources. If you go to the Startup India portal, they will help you out. There are many investors present there. If you go through that particular web portal properly, you would see that there are cases where the number of people have been investors are mentioned there, and renowned people are mentioned there. Then we have various of these incubation centers which will help you to find out a investor. And nowadays the market is ready for to become an investor. Not the right team is actually you have to choose your own team. The video I was about to show was of a person called Muki Vishwanath. Now this guy, the owner of Pepper Studio. This particular person, what he had done, he is telling his story of that he had failed 7 times. And he said that I am happy that I failed fast. I should have failed more faster, so that I could learn more. Every failure was a learning. And he says it is nothing else. It is that you are not having the right team. The mindset with which you start a particular business and your people also tune into that or align with that is a problem. The competition, of course, because you are going to compete with the open world. However hand-holding, however mentoring you have done, but when you are in the open market, that is why government has included that if you want to have this, the sourcing, if you want to, sell your products, you have e-markets, you have, supporting. They can only support, but you have to face the competition. Poor product again is an issue, but it is an internal issue which is controllable. You can put in more money, and you can even put in more money, do further research, and develop a sounder product. So these are the main reasons why startup fail. Now we move on to when we are talking about idea, when we are talking about product. We said that idea is the first stage, but we have the problem is that there is lesser number of people move to this idea validation. What does it mean by validating your idea? What does it mean to validate your idea? See, validating an idea can relate to, to first check whether your idea is sensible enough to move to the next level. Move to the next level means we have seen many students in our engineering college, students come with different ideas, but product when we see that thing, that the idea, we say that see, this is not scalable, or this cannot be converted into a product. What is your revenue model? How do you ensure that you will be earning, you will be having that revenue model? That payment structure you will be able to identify. Have you identified any kind of payment structure? Now, all these YouTubers, all these starting from the vlog makers or the podcast, everything depends upon that is a subscription model. The more number of subscription and the more number of viewership you have, that will be only converted into a revenue. Now in that case, though many people have been successful, many of them have been a failure. They were not able to keep up to their commitment of having a video every day or maintain that particular cycle. Idea is good, but Validation is that whether you will be able to do it. Is it possible? So you will find, if you are going through these blogs and other systems, you can find out, that every day these people, they either look for places where to get these videos from. A new product, right? A new service. Like, here also, you must also must be having in your area. We have, hello, we have, that is called there's a, service which is called an urban clap service, urban company. Now, what does that company do? That company is a platform. It is an aggregator, right? It is an aggregator. Now, what does that aggregator do? Aggregator has a resource of skilled people, plumbers, painters, even the beauty, cosmetic, beauty service providers, the salon service providers, the RO, if you want to get a servicing done, AC servicing done. So it is an aggregator of all these group of skilled people. How is it validated? He knows that, I will have but there will be issues with certain things. People might not turn up. So you have to validate that how this can be successful. You should have a pool of resources of these skilled people, plus a pool of resources, a pool of customers who are ready to take your services, who have trusted you, that if I get a person from urban company to do my work, I am assured that the product is that the service will be the best one. Validating that idea, right? I was about to show, there were two videos I was about to show. The other video that I was about to show was of a company called Jet Set Go. Have you heard about the company? I want people to respond to me. Have you heard about the company called Jet Set Go?
I've heard it, but in not large scale. I heard it, but not in large scale.
Yeah. What is it? What is it about?
Actually, as per, I only added a bit in the FB. The promotions were there. Only it might be due for some startup related applications. I didn't enter into detail of that.
Let me tell you. And that video was very inspirational. I wanted to actually, I wanted to share and wanted to show it. This is about a girl called
If you don't mind, can you share it in the chat box so that I can
I'll
share
share
it from
the
my
link.
end?
I'll share.
I'll try my best to share it
you
from my
can
end.
share it. Okay, fine.
You can give me the link in the chat box.
Can I share it share it with you in the drive? Or the video itself, YouTube, I'll share it. Just give me a second.
You just give me the sharing link in the chat box. I'll try to share it from my screen only.
Okay, fine. Just give me a moment. This is the one. I say I can also try sharing it through a tab.
I'm trying, ma'am. You just stop your sharing. I'm trying from my end.
Okay. No, I'm not able to see it in my tab also. I don't know what happened.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Can you see the video? It is buffering till date. Can you see my screen where the video is
The
buffering?
screen.
Skip ads. Ma'am, should I skip the ads?
Yes, skip that.
Is it visible and audible, ma'am?
Not audible.
Ma'am, is the video visible and audible?
Video is visible, but it is not audible. You would be surprised to know that this girl, Kanika,
is it audible?
No, it is not audible. That is why I am just. Now, let me tell you about this girl, Kanika Tekriwal. She is the only, the private jet set. It is just the Uber of the skies. The organization Jet Set Go is called the Uber of the skies. Yes.
Audio audible?
No, better. No, it is not audible.
Okay. Then, ma'am, there might be.
Let us. Yes, there is some issue which we have not able to crack it, but I don't know. Leave it as such. Let us discuss about it. Right now, my voice is clear, right? Okay, fine. Yes.
Mostly, when adversity hits, people tend to withdraw into a shell. Only a few fight the crisis and emerge as winners.
Put it full screen.
Kanika Tekriwal, the brain behind the Telepaid Jackson Aviation Services Private Limited, an aircraft aggregator, is one such warrior. Today, Chancellor brings to you her inspiring backstory.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
When Kanika launched Go in 2012, venturing into the Indian aviation industry after battling cancer, she had no single aircraft on her own. All she knew was that she wanted to build a charter aircraft business using an aggregator model like Ola and Uber. Fast forward to the current period, Go has its own aircraft. It has grown into a company with a turnover of rupees 150 crores and around 200 employees. It has offices in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Hyderabad. Kanika started the business with an investment of rupees 5,600. She built an app to book charter flights. In the first 2 years, she took advances from clients and credit from vendors for the business. In 2014, Sudhir Pala, a chartered accountant and an Oxford management graduate, joined Go as co-founder. Go's clientele includes corporates, celebrities, politicians, and other significant people. The company offers a wide range of charter flights, including 6-seater and 18-seater planes. The company flourished even during the pandemic. It handled 1 lakh flyers and operated 6,000 flights in the year 2020-2021. Currently, Go is looking for a first-mover advantage in urban air mobility with its eVTOL, that is, electrical vertical takeoff aircraft service, which is capable of vertical takeoff and landing. This could be a prominent chapter in the company's future. According to Kanika, it will be a shuttle service between 2 points in the city. Go has piloted the service in Mumbai. The attractive part is that the charges will be as cheap as an Uber. It ranges from rupees 1,000 to rupees 2,500, depending upon the distance. The service is done using a helicopter. The company is trying to cash in on the concept of air taxis, which will be a norm in the future. Born into a Marwari business family in Bhopal, this journey has not been an easy one for Kanika. An independent woman, she grew by overcoming struggles. At the age of 23, she was diagnosed with cancer. Her family stood by her side. After undergoing 12 chemotherapy sessions and 1 year of radiation, she bounced back. Meantime, she had written motivational books by Lance Armstrong, a professional cyclist who fought testicular cancer and was back on track. His words played a great role in her life. Inspired, she started Go. Kanika has big plans for the company that include buying more will happen at the right time. So this is how the Indian entrepreneur Kanika Tekriwal dared to change the urban air mobility. More such informative news, do watch and subscribe to channelline.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Until we are back with yet another inspiring story, stay tuned. What makes
Excuse me, ma'am, kindly
Yes.
unmute
It's
yourself.
it's an extremely inspiring story. A story where it seems like a fairy tale story. A girl from Bhopal starting a air Uber, right? And without any idea in mind. And I would suggest that please go through her TED talk. And even the just her life story is actually an inspiration. The way she has gone forward, right? It is an inspiration. So a new idea, a new model, and at present more than 25, a fleet of more than 25 cabs. Some their own, and some they are, like Ola and Uber, they have different modules through which they have, turned up with these people. Now, this is how an idea germinates. Maybe at that point of time, validating could be problem. But when you hear her story, the conviction within her was that was her, the conviction led to an outstanding victory. Okay, this is one part of the story there where we see a person who has started a business on aircraft, which is totally offline, something which is not there, and which anybody would suggest that what are you doing? Why are you going into that particular field? Is it required? What is the kind of market you will be having? Right, whether you will be getting it or not, but she knew, and she was involved. Actually, the turning point in her career came where she was involved with buying and selling of aircraft for some place. She was working abroad at some company, and they were into merchandising or purchasing and selling of items, where that particular person approached her because of her interest. She did not stop. She was just trying to understand about the aircrafts and other things, and she was involved somehow with the purchasing of these aircrafts. That is where her interest grew. Now, another video which I would like you to to show these people before I move into the other the later part of the failure. Before that, I would like you to see. I've shared the link. Please, ma'am, would you please do me the favor?
Ma'am, kindly give it in the.
Coolest online talk show, Chai with me, Lakshmi. We are at www.chaiwithlakshmi.in. Check us out for fabulous webisodes, articles, tea time recipes, and a fantastic store. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. That's facebook.com/Chai with Lakshmi. And the Twitter handle is at Chai with Lakshmi. That's CHAIWITHLAKSHMI. And now for today's fabulous webisode. You are about to meet an absolutely inspiring entrepreneur. Muki Raghunathan first attempted entrepreneurship straight after college. 17 years on, he's failed 7 times but succeeded on the 8th. His 8th enterprise is a digital agency called Pepper Square. In its 10th year, this business has serviced over 250 clients and has over 70 staff. Today, Muki joins me to share about his failures, learnings, and to talk about giving back. Muki, 7 failures. 7 failures as an entrepreneur, and then you went on to start up an 8th time, all over again. And look at you today, you're absolutely successful, and you're this marvelous person I look up to. I want you to share with us about all those failures and starting up again.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. It's a pleasure to be with Chai with Lakshmi. There is a friend of mine who told me that you should not share your success to people. You should share your failure because success will be known by everybody, right? If you're not successful, then your failure has no story to tell, right? So it's very important to understand that you have to be successful and you got to keep working on it, and it's not that difficult. 7 times when I say I failed, it is not that I just started a company in my house and then failed. I have employed people, I have paid the money, I've got contracts, I've got so many companies registered, and then I failed. If you're an entrepreneur and you have failed, you should have gone through a cycle, which means you have registered a company, you have hired people, you have customers, and they were not paying, or the company went bankrupt, or some problems like that, which connects the entire cycle, right? It may not be that you have to be with it for 5 years or 2 years, but you should have gone through that entire cycle. So, like that, 7 times I've failed, and I can't give up. That's my problem. So, why did I fail? I think the lessons I learned from there, I would like to put it that the lessons I learned that if you cannot scale, you should not start. That's my first learning, right? So, in order to scale, you should be able to automate things. You should be able to reach out to more people. You cannot be there. It's like starting a restaurant, right? So when you start a restaurant, you have to be there in one place. When you want to scale, it's very hard. You're not there. So which means you have to understand the processes. Number two, it's very important to bring in people together. You may have a great passion. You may have fantastic idea. Can you make sure that the others who come and join you have the similar passion? Largely, people do not have the similar passion as much as you do, otherwise they'll be starting their own company, right? So you need to bring in like-minded people. You got to take them along. So I think that's one of the learnings I had. Number three, it's very important to take your business quickly to the next level. If you don't have traction, you can't make money, then you don't have a cash flow. So if you don't have a cash flow, you cannot fuel your dreams. The other one I learned is it was very hard to go there, sell a product to a customer. Initial days, I used to sell my services, but I never told a story. Today I tell a story. It's all about what they want, how you want to take their business rather than selling your own services. I think one point, Lakshmi, I wanted to tell you is that, which is very close to my heart. I'm a perfectionist, like the way you are in your videos and stuff. You always talk about one frame is missing. One is that I always create a space for others' imperfection. Otherwise, I could have never made it today. I think it's very, very important because when I started, I made so many mistakes, right? It's okay to make mistakes. It's perfectly all right to fail. It's perfectly all right to make mistakes. But I don't want to repeat the same mistake. I want to fail fast. I don't want to fail last. I want to fail fast because it's too short a life and I have very few more productive years to go. So I got to be much more acceptable to change.
Okay, obviously, getting through 7 failures and starting up again wouldn't have been easy for you. And also it wouldn't have been easy for people supporting you, particularly your family. How did they deal with it? How did they cope with it?
My wife has been the greatest supporter here. Jo also works in Pepper Square. So since she works in Pepper Square, she understands even better. So I would suggest everybody to make sure that their family member joins their startup so that their life is easy because you don't have to explain that you don't have money. I think people around me are wonderful. My brother has been a great support because they have an office, full-fledged office in America. So I started in his house and he's been a wonderful guy. He never says anything to me. And all my friends, some of my closest friends, whenever I go abroad, they come and pick me up. I don't have to spend money in staying there. I get free food. And they do even today. They've been wonderful. I think without people's support, it's impossible. I think more than everybody, Pepper Square team has been my family. They're wonderful guys. And they've been brilliant people. We have people who've been working with us for the last 8.5 years. So that shows that commitment. 32% of our employees been with us for more than 4.5 years. They still work with us. So it's wonderful.
One of the things
I recall about you from speaking to you earlier and also speaking to your team is that you're very involved with people. You're happy to get personal. You're happy to get to know people. You're happy to offer advice. You offer a lot of mentoring advice to a lot of entrepreneurs. I see this overwhelming sort of drive in you to give back and to share the success, right? So after all these failures, it hasn't been about holding it to yourself. It's about sharing it. I want to know why. What drives that? I think it goes back to, my upbringing. Credit goes to my mom and dad. My dad is one, he died almost 19 years ago. He said one thing which I'll never forget in my life. He said that there's only one thing anyone can do with anybody without their knowledge, is that sucking their knowledge. So I always believed in taking the knowledge and giving it back. Because the more you give it, the more you learn. I don't charge for mentorship. I will never ever charge for that. And I want to do that. I want to give it back as much as possible because there's so much this country has offered me. And I want to give it back. The best way to give it is share your ideas with people. Entrepreneurs are the only way to take this country forward. Thank you. Fantastic having you on the show. Lakshmi, I wanted to thank you so much for this. I've known you for quite some time. And I look up to you as a women entrepreneur. You should become Chai with Lakshmi should become the #1 brand in India. And I wish you guys all the very best.
Yes. So wasn't it inspiring? And his
Yes, ma'am. Both.
views. Yeah.
Both.
Both the videos.
Yeah.
Actually, this is one of my favorite videos, the second one. And whenever I take a class on entrepreneurship or on, mentoring students or showing it to some of the budding entrepreneurs, I always show this video. And the reason of showing the video is not about making them scared about the failures, but to build the commitment. See how, even if when he is discussing his failures, he is so confident about it. He said, I failed, I learned. And he said, I know now what not to do. I have, actually, so what does he start with? He said, if you cannot scale, don't pursue that business. That is his first learning. So we are talking about ideation. We are talking about a minimum viable product that we have built. And we are talking about, making it into an actual product and selling it into the market. He said, don't sell, tell a story. It has to connect with the customer. That connection should be there. Apart from it, there is one more thing which I would like to, we'll come back to our presentation. You will have to allow me to keep me, if it is visible, we can, because I find it very uncomfortable.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible again in the reduced
let us
screen
keep it
mode.
that way. Let us keep it that way. It is very uncomfortable for me to, I hope it is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am, visible, but in reduced screen mode. Okay, you can keep it.
I will just increase the size of this. Okay.
No, ma'am. Actually, what is happening? It's not in the full screen mode. It's in the
I know
screen.
I know that.
Okay, it will suffice the range. Ma'am, if you don't mind, I want to say one thing. The next speaker is already joined. We have next 5 minutes to conclude, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
At 3 o'clock, just 5 minutes. I'll
Yeah,
just 50
ma'am.
minutes.
Okay.
I'll take more.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll
For
take
interested
2-3
you.
minutes more. So here, what has happened is, how do we validate? We were talking about. I'll just go about this 2-3 minutes more. Okay. Now, validating your idea is basically you have to develop, what are the assumptions around that particular product that you are doing. Defining that what you are trying to actually, this defining your goals and preparing a hypothesis, experimenting is later on, but this will help you create your value proposition. Only then, whether whatever you want to give. So she wanted, if we talk about this Kanika Tekriwal, she was trying to give an option to fly in the sky. that I cannot own but I have money, I can just own a ride. Right? I can just travel from one location to the other location. So that was validating. Now, what are the tools? This is a very technical thing that has come up. There are special sessions for this. We create, while validating an idea, we create a validation board and a validation canvas, which helps us to identify that, this is because we are trying to reduce our error. We said we will be trying to reduce the number of failures. Now, to reduce the number of failures, we will have to validate. And what is the tool that we are using to validate? We are using a validation board, which is based on a lean machine setup. Identify the factors that you want to offer, identify your product, try to find out that why and what is the need base. If you are unable to do in that particular manner, what is the next option? If you remember, long back, you might ask your parents or somebody who is close to you, there was a company who used to manufacture LML Vespa scooters with it. 150cc, 100cc scooters, they made it to the market. Then they had to move into the 150 category. That's a different example, which we don't have time to get deep into it. But you should have different pivots. You should have plan A, plan B, plan C. If it is not working in this particular manner, what next should I do with the same kind of the minimum viable product, MVP same hai. What am I supposed to do with it next? So what is the next thing which is coming up along with that? If it is not fitting into that particular category which I was thinking of, I should have always, with that MVP, I should have different options coming up. Only then there would be that the failure would be minimized. The second important thing is to create a product market fit. Whether the target market that you have identified matches with it or not, whether the fitness is there or not. What do we mean by fitness? Whether you are providing them what they want or not. Right? Then only your demand will be met. Third and most important thing is the business model. This is where most of the companies fail because they are unable to find out the real customer segment. They are unable to establish the relationship. These are the 9 components of a business model canvas. And more specifically, the revenue stream and the cost structure. And the basis is the value proposition. Number of companies who were not able to make up without, even with the payment, with the investment that they received, right? They were not being able to, because they could not manage the revenue streams. They did not know where their money was coming from. And they could not identify the payment structure, because in revenue stream, one of the most important thing is the payment structure. You haven't identified the payment structure. What are the different sources of revenue it has come from? Like I was talking about, a person said that I'm going to make an app. Okay, fine, make an app. It is okay. But what is your revenue model? He said, okay, fine. Then, when people will subscribe, and then, I'll start earning money, because then the ads will flow. How are you thinking to put your entire money on entire stake on something which is not sure advertisements? Fine. And a clear value proposition, what you want to offer through that particular app or through that particular product, that has to be very clear. So these are certain things which an organization has to keep in mind when it talks about the failures. This is a different thing which I had, basically I wanted to cover 2 things. One was that what is the beautiful picture of startups that has been painted. And on the other side, I wanted to, tell you about these startup failures and what not to do, right? And these basic things, and, to control, when we talk about competition, the major thing, the best thing which comes in the competition area is about, the patenting the startups. When you are going for an innovation, there is a very beautiful TED talk by a London School of Economics faculty, and he was talking about invisible innovation. And he said that we are responsible for that invisible innovation. Number of people, the highest number of innovations are by the Indian scientists. which is not visible in the arena. How to make it happen? That is terms as invisible innovation. Do watch that TED talk. Very interesting. Nirmalya Kumar. He is the person who is a faculty with London School of Economics, and he had given this TED talk on invisible innovation. I would suggest that you would go through it to understand that what kind of, that is the only reason the patent, the copyright, the trademark we haven't taken. Thank you. I'm taking a lot of time, and so thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity to speak. I hope I have done the I justified my presence here, and thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your sharing of your knowledge best amongst us. We are highly obliged for that, and we hope that in our future ventures you will be with us.
Thank you.
In due course. Thank you, ma'am. Now, moving on to the next session, we have amongst us a very renowned speaker, Dr. Sandeep Poddar, sir, who would be speaking about design thinking, and I'm highly indebted to read about this eminent personality. Dr. Sandeep Poddar, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, also served as Senior Research Director and Executive Editor Publications, Lincoln University, University College, Malaysia, Adjunct Faculty Honorary, Bharat Center, Canada. Dr. Sandeep has been graduated from the University of Calcutta with honors in zoology. He has obtained postgraduate diploma in dietetics from All India Institute of Hygiene and Public Health, Master of Science in Zoology with specialization in biochemical genetics from the Albert Educational Institute with distinction. In addition to this, he also obtained Master of Business Administration MBA from Lincoln University College. He has completed PhD in Zoology from Vivekananda Institute of Medical Sciences on cytotoxicity. After completing PhD, he pursued postdoctoral research in different projects on hemoglobinopathies and oral cancer mutation associated in establishment of molecular diagnostics laboratory NEON at present under Disan Hospitals, Kolkata. SET Biotechnology Laboratory at College in Hooghly, West Bengal under University of Burdwan. He has published more than 140 research papers in reputed Scopus, Web of Science, index journals and books, filed more than 15 patents, organized international conferences, and also edited books in Malaysia, Australia, and India. He is serving as guest editor of different reputed Scopus index journals of Elsevier in the Science Botanica-like publishers. He has initiated the International Journal of Advancement in Life Sciences Research. Dr. Sandeep is founder assistant secretary of Dr. Taraknath Poddar Memorial Foundation, Kolkata. He is active member of different organizations, Indian Science Congress Association, Indian Science News Association, World Academy of Sciences, Mental Health Innovation Network, Malaysian Society for Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, fellow member of World Researchers Association, Indian Academic Researchers Association. On behalf of MCKVI, sir, I heartily welcome you all. The virtual platform is all yours, sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Devapama. And I also wish to thank Dr. Prasenjit for inviting me in this platform. I also wish to thank Dr. Swati Bhatt, my just previous speaker, and all the participants to start. May I start now, or you want to break for 5 minutes?
So as you wish.
Yeah, no, as you wish. I just joined, no problem.
Okay.
I can just start, no problem. So I can start now?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, my voice is audible clearly?
Yes, sir, your voice is audible.
Okay, thank you. So today we are here in the institution's Innovative Council of MCKVIE in the Impact Lecture Series 2022 and sponsored by MOE Innovation Cell and AICTE New Delhi. As I told, it is the second speech, and Dr. Swati Bhatt, as a Faculty of Management and subject expert, have clearly elaborated about the designing and the company setup and how to, what you call it, the business setup, startup, etc. But my talk will be little bit different, as this is a little bit different topic and my thinking is different from others. So that's why we are talking on the topic design thinking, an approach for problem solving and impact creation. At first, we all know that what is the thinking means design and thinking. We have to think about the design, and design have to be thought. So for creating a design means design for different aspect, we will explain later on. Optimism and creative confidence should be there. So we need to believe that all problems, even the seemingly intractable challenges, can be solved. Then we have to be comfort with ambiguity and also empathy. Then we should have a curiosity that what is the need from the stakeholders. Why, as Dr. Swati was telling, that one business startup need some maybe closed down or it is not running properly. So why it is not running? Why the business is not properly started? So there should be a curiosity that what type of business you should run. This all comes under curiosity. And then we think about collaboration, that how my startup is or business can get, or any work, not only business. We will explain that all work we do is a business from morning to night. So it is a business of human life that we are working. So the collaboration need with different stakeholders from industry, from other academician, other workers at the field level, and different aspect of the society, means different parts of the society, different levels of strata of the society, that to be collaborated. Then only we can design and perform an experiment that how a new setup of research or a business or anything can be formed. I am making it a general design aspect, not only management aspect, little bit open. So we will discuss on different issues in this aspect. Madam, how much time you please inform me before 10 minutes so that I can wrap up. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I think 1 hour, no? I can talk.
Sir, you have time till 4:30 p.m., sir.
No, 4:30 means
1.5 hours, sir. You have.
Okay, okay.
Now it's
Okay,
11
no
minutes
problem.
past 3 o'clock. You have time till 4:30, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, Einstein's definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It is a part of research. We are searching and searching and over and getting different results and expect different results. This is like a puzzle. We can construct different things and we can have different results. So there are different ways of thinking, different ways of designing, and then comes different way of what is called the outcome of that idea, of the process. So as per Einstein, it is insanity. Now, the process of designing have mainly three phases. As we see in other sources, I take it from other references: inspiration, idea, and implementation. Inspiration, here it is written gathering information and generating insight from every possible sources. It is the inspiration. When we are here in this platform, we are sharing, we are thinking, we are listening to each other, different talks, but every 48% of this person in this platform is thinking differently. All of our mind is different. Our inspiration for joining this session is different. Why I am joining? Why I am here to join? As an educated person, we are here. Many uneducated person is there in the world. Who is not here? Means it is customary educated I am talking, formal education. But what is the inspiration that brings us here? One person come for interview just 1 hour before. I asked, she has graduated in BSc in genetics from Malaysia, of course. And I asked her, why you do genetics? If any motivation from your family members or something? She told, I watched an South Indian movie, and that movie inspired me to study genetics. It is not my family members. Family members not in this business. They are in different, what we call business. So there is an inspiration, of course, to work. Like Madam telling that start up a business. She showed a video that one person has started a business and something. So why I am set up a business? What is the inspiration? A flight company, AirAsia, is founded by one person. Why he founded it? Because an inspiration, a motivational role is playing behind that. So to implement that motivational role means that motivational idea, we have to do design and planning. So that idea should be translated from our mind to a process flow. Then only it can be implemented. So as a researcher, we may think that how I have discovered one technique, so I have to go for prototyping, I have to go for patent, I have to publish that article, then that idea can be transmitted to the society. Suppose COVID, everybody is affected, so many scientists have a motivational factor from government and all community. They want a cure. They want to come out from this COVID-19 scenario. So that inspiration makes the creation of different types, trying of different types of drugs, anti-malarial drugs, and etc. So there is idea, and that idea is implemented, and we found that yes, not effective. Then we found yes, vaccine is effective. So that inspiration of making a vaccine against COVID, and that vaccine has to be transmitted to means that idea has to translate to the industry and go to the community. So these are a full set of steps of the process. Now, as I told, that anti-malarial drug was used, but it was found that cardio patients cannot take that. It is affecting, the anti-malarial drug is affecting severely. So that drug use have to be stopped for COVID. Then comes the vaccine. Then how the vaccine can be transmitted, how that vaccine can be given, which temperature the vaccine should be carried, different types of experiment and idea come up, and implementation has been done, prototyping have been created. So there is overlapping phases. And finally, the idea process complete and the idea has been implemented in the society. So the solutions must be balanced three things: desirability, viability, and feasibility. As I told, that what I need, what is the inspiration, what is the motivation? Our desirability is to get rid of COVID-19. So for that, we got the inspiration for work, and then we started our innovative ideas and started the prototyping. We test the drugs. So the sustainability and viability of the drugs comes here. So we remove the antimalarial drug, then we come up with the vaccination. And now we may are again trying to get some capsular, etc., to prevent COVID-19. So there are different types of viability question comes. Then comes feasibility. Is it the antimalarial drug is getting easily feasible to everybody? Is the vaccine can get by everybody feasible? So the government give the fund for everybody to get immunization. So there is a feasibility is making in the community sector to make the COVID-19 vaccine available to the society. So the balance between the desirability, viability, and feasibility should be there. Sorry. Now, if my vaccine I produce, the scientists produce in laboratory, and it is not feasible that it can be given to the means the human population because it is heavy, high costly, or it cannot be transmitted because for the temperature, anti-freezing, freezing schedule, or it cannot be given by anybody because the health workers are not present. So their feasibility is not there. So is it viable? No. So there should be a balance between desirability, viability, and feasibility. Now, this is picture from my kitchen. I go, everybody, we have gone through this every day morning. We go to market and buying vegetables to cook different items. Now, in this process of cooking, we have to plan what type of food we have to do. In the house, how many members are there? What is their feeding preference? What is the age group of the person? Is the person have any other diseases or not? He is 80-year-old or 8-month-old or 8-year-old. So what type of fish, what type of vegetable, is it vegetarian, non-vegetarian, many things comes into our schedule. So from there, we have to find out what we have to go from and bring from the market. I cannot bring anything which is not used in my house because it is not liked by anyone. So I have to bring that type of vegetables or fish or mutton from market which is needed for my family. Then I have to think, okay, what are the inside ingredients we need that is present or not. If suppose I don't have a special ingredient, I cannot do a special food. So now suppose this simply I have to design a food. I plan, okay, I will do this. So I have to make it, have implemented. So I have to cut the vegetables, waste product I have to throw, and take the proper part of the vegetables to cook the food. I cannot use this garbage in my cooking. Now I prepare a dish. Now when we have prepared a dish, we have to think that yes, my kitchen today I don't have the potato stock, so I cannot give the potato inside the dosa. So I have to make a normal dosa. I cannot give egg because I don't have egg today inside the dosa, so I cannot make egg dosa. Like different types of food we can plan, and which type of dosa or bread, toast or rice which is needed, or puri or chapati which is needed for us in our family. That have to think, and we can prepare that type of food only. So there comes the design of the food in my planning and implementation in the reality. So one 80-year-old with diabetes person, we cannot give sugar, etc. We have to give normal diet. A 1-year-old, different diet. A normal person like our middle-aged person, different diet. So different person have a different choice, and accordingly we have to plan and give the feasible diet to everybody. Any questions so far? I am clear. I just stop share because I can't see anybody in this platform. Yes, anybody, anything?
Any question from the audience end?
Because I want to discuss, otherwise one-way traffic in Zoom platform or Google Meet, the virtual, that is a problem that we cannot see each other. So if anything you want to share also can share. Otherwise I move forward.
Any question from the audience end? If not, then we will be moving forward. Oops, so there is no question from the
Okay.
audience end.
Feel free to talk, because it is not that I know everything and you have to, what you call it, listen only. So now from this we move to the next design, a golden elephant, gold elephant. Now you can see there are two types of design in this picture I have shown. So there are maybe millions of design can be done with gold, and we know that there are different types of design available with gold ornaments, and we are not fixed with any, or we are not stick also with any single design. we want different types. So design process is ever-ending and it is ongoing. So when we are going to display this design, we need a showroom. And that showroom also have different types of design. I just take these clips from the internet, but many showrooms you can see they fix mirror. It may be due to they want to observe the customers. They have CCTV as well. And of course, it will give a reflection of the ornaments. So the person when enter into place, the look is different. Even there is 10 gold item, it may look 100 item by the reflection. So it is a display setting, design of the shop. You can see design of the ornament, then how I am selling, design of the shop, where the shop will be built. So that things comes under planning. One person who is selling the ornament, he or she not associated with building or planning of this shop. Who is building this shop, the architecture or designer building architecture, they are not associated with selling of making design of that ornament. So there are different types of person working, and all of their idea is different and their creation is different, and their coordinated effort comes into a simple showroom. We just go and see, oh, this is a very nice design, so I buy. We don't think what is going on in behind of this. We don't think that what planning, what type of designing, what type of social impact is there behind this gold. Another example I give, Minamata disease. In 50 years or more, 60 years I think now, it is a very famous disease, Minamata Bay poisoning, mercury poisoning. And here they see that the heavy metal is leached from the factory, the mercury, into the water. And that water was taken by the fish, accumulated in the fish body. That fish was taken by the population, and the population, the children of that population is affected with cerebral palsy, neurotoxic effect of mercury. And that children after 60 years now are already adult and now in this condition. And that company is still having court order to give the compensation for the families. But this company compensation can release the pain of that family, can revive that human generation? The answer is no. Not only human generation, that time it was called as a dancing cat disease. The cat was dancing and jumped into the water because for neurotoxic effect of fish from the mercury. So now this mercury is used in many countries for gold and silver amalgamation. Even we know that mercury, it is not what you call, it is not legal as actually to use mercury openly for silver and gold extraction, but it is used. I shall show you the video. then you can understand. So children and the other persons are working for the gold destruction on the mines. And that contaminated water of mercury and other acids, vapors, are leached into the area. So as per the Minamata Convention, mercury-free mining, it is UN strategy. I show the short video, but now I would like to share another video.
You know, you can make animated Slender ads and videos just like this one using Tuber.
Suppose gold mining, they have to go inside the mines like this. Of course, all mines are dangerous, not only gold, coal, diamond, all.
Yes, it's risky because if we make mistakes, the ground can easily
Is the sound okay? You can hear from Google?
This is the risk we take.
It's not so clear.
Okay.
Not so clear, sir.
I don't know how, what is sharing problem, maybe sound.
No, sir, it might be with the case that this video is having lesser volume of the sound. I think you can check it up with your settings of your computer system.
Okay, I will give you the link. Later on you can see. And I am just telling, and they hear some noise also coming because they are working downstairs. Some outside work is going on in the university. So now you can see that the gold and mercury, they are using the mercury to make amalgamation of the gold. And the result, you can see the children cannot sit, already affected by this mercury poisoning. So their brain function is already affected.
Researchers from the local NGO are looking into the disease and at the children. They say that victims of mercury exposure.
So the health officials, they go and check and find out, yes, this neurotoxic effect is affecting the kids of the mercury, these gold mine workers. Even the children born without eyes. And of course, the IQ also going to damaged, and the cerebral palsy and etc. will arise. So this is a simple example of the gold which we are buying in shop with a good design, and what is going on in behind in the community level. We are thinking, we have to think. Without thinking, without this information, we cannot go out and make any changes in the community. We cannot have any empathy on these gold mine workers. So even there is accidental collapse, we heard in Bengal also, there are coal mine, rejected coal mine, and some is, what you call, the theft is going on, that abandoned coal mine, and that coal mine collapsed. Is it the theft, or it is maybe illegal mining? After the mine left, they never bothered to close down the mine with water and etc. So anytime it can collapse, and many persons' life in danger. We cannot feel because we are not affected. If we have affected, means we are affected with COVID, then only we know what is COVID. As I am not affected with COVID, I don't know what is COVID. So I don't care. If I am not affected with this type of scenario, I am not worried about their condition. So here lies the different types of activities. Activities means who are the persons working in planning and designing and implementation. We cannot get rid of gold, and we cannot also get rid of illegal mining of this easily. Many countries, not only one country, many countries have this illegal mining. You can see in the internet, you will find many. So this mercury poisoning leaching to the water from factory, it may be gold mine, or it may be other factory, it may be mirror factory. It leach into the water, and it leach water, fish, it will come to the human body, and it cause the cerebral neurotoxic effect we can easily see inside the human. As they are directly exposed, we can see directly, yes, he is affected, the son is affected, the baby is affected, but we don't know. Even I am maybe affected with the mercury because I like to eat fish, and that fish may be cultivated in the mercury contaminated water, I don't know. So it is knowingly or unknowingly we are absorbed into the system. So there is genetic basis of cerebral palsy. I just want to highlight that you must know, because knowledge is important thing before we design anything. So the mercury inside the human body is absorbed by the fetal body, because mother's blood to fetal blood, it easily cross, and it go and accumulate into the fetal DNA and corrupt that. So the cerebral palsy resulted. So the pollution of mercury, as I told, it affect hugely, and it is a neurotoxic effect, and even it easily cross the placental barrier, reaching the developing fetus, and affect the fetal brain tremendously. Now, as soon as it transmitted, it will transmit. But from where it is transmitted? From one of the sources, gold mine, illegal gold mine. Another source may be mirror, glass mirror. Another source, we previously used the mercury thermometer. Now we are not using. We are using the, what do you call it, the temperature by scanning, etc. I don't know what is there inside. Now, also we are using the mercury and the gold or silver paste for the teeth. The dental surgeon use the silver paste to cure what you call the pour the hole inside the teeth. So the mercury is used in different forms and different places of our body and human life, and it also affects the different enzyme system of our body. Metabolic activity is affected. So The mercury gold mine workers affected children, and of course, they also affected while working. But we cannot see, we can see on the children the effect. And of course, they are defined, if we search chromosomal analysis we do, then we can find different types of chromosomal abnormality appears in human chromosome break, etc. due to pollution, not only mercury, different. And from there, we want to create an impact in the society. This thing is going on and this thing is happening, so we want to create an impact. For that, I am delivering this lecture here to create an impact to the society, to create the information among you that all of us should jointly think that how we can overcome these things. It is just an example. We may think that yes, we publish a paper on chromosome damage with ferric chloride. This is done by me. It is online in 2017, but it was published in long back. So, one iron ferrous sulfate tablet we are giving for eradicating anemia among the mothers in health centers, but in a low dose, 40 milligram per day. But same ferrous sulfate, if given in high dose, it is a highly toxic and poisonous thing. It is called as Hidakos, and if somebody take in high dose of ferrous sulfate, immediately the effect can be seen. So that iron, which is beneficial, become detrimental to somebody, means to us, because we are planning to eradicate anemia. We have to design the dose of the ferrous sulfate. Then we can give, okay, 40 milligram, not more than that per day should be given to this population. If given to more, then our planning failed and we failed, and our design process failed. We cannot execute that in the community. We cannot do any impact on the society. Yes, impact we can do. It is a bad impact. Like the gold ornament we are wearing, we are thinking, oh, one children is dying for this. So that is the impact of the society which we can create. So now with this, I am moving to the third example. Any question you want to share, please? First, I want to know that if you want to share your views, anything. Anybody want to share anything? Please feel free to tell. Then I will move to next example.
Hope nobody is having any questions.
Nobody having question, and also I see somebody is leaving. So maybe my talk is not so attractive and not useful for them. No problem. We continue. Now, one bus accident happened. Now, this has happened. From this problem, we have to think. First, to think that what is the problem? Why the bus accident happened? And we have to think, we have to create the idea, we have to generate the idea that is the bus accident due to the tire of the bus? Is the tire is resoled or is the tire punctured? So all of us have to think an idea that why this bus accident happened. All of us have maybe different thinking and we will think differently. Yes, the bus accident may happen due to tire, may happen due to brake flail, may happen due to the car, may happen due to the environment, maybe it is foggy weather, maybe the road is slippery or something, or maybe the driver is drunk or driver has some mental dizziness due to overwork, overtime, over driving. We can tell that road syndrome or something. And then these things we have to think that why the accident happened. Then only we can design that how we can prevent these accident again. See, we are not discussing about a single business. We are not discussing about set up a business. It is a business of our daily life, from cooking to our decoration to our everyday transport. And from there, we have to think that yes, if the tire is resoled or not, how we can prevent this resoled tire. So the government will come up with some planning and etc. The rules are there that you cannot use this resoled tire, the truck driver, lorry driver, all of them know. And resoled tire can be used, that also many persons know. So now we have to think that after accident, how many persons affected? And how many persons effectiveness is how much degree? So we have to pressurize our brain that as a health worker, if it is a health worker, then we have to think that yes, this person is critical, I have to put in ICU. This person is okay, I can put first aid. Then I can think, okay, this was no problem, he is just sitting. We just give some what we call easy exercise, etc., so that he can move. Like this type of thinking we have to do. We have to explore the idea. It is not that one man think. Now, from there, again another thinking and design process comes. If this accident happened, suppose in the case of COVID-19, it was affected in China, 2020. Then we think, okay, 2019 it was in Singapore, 2020 it is in China, it will not come to a hot country, it is cold country disease. After that, it comes to all over the world. When it comes, we see only that how much severe the patients are there. As I am telling, first aid, to ICU, and to experiment. So there are different grades of COVID-19 affected. Then we think, is the place is sufficient to accommodate all the patients? No. Is the beds sufficient to accommodate the patient? Is the ICU facilities sufficient? Is all ICU have the what you call the BPAP or the portable support system, ICU support system? Is all the part ICU system have the ECMO, the blood circulation support system? The answer is no. Accordingly, we have to design that yes, we need makeshift hospital or care center. So overnight, many countries develop makeshift hospital for COVID in stadium, in a hall, or etc. In Malaysia also, they make the stadium as a vaccination center. Different places, big places, they make vaccination center. So people come and giving mass vaccination quickly. So these are the different thinking process generated due to the observance of the affected population, need of the society, empathy for the society. And from there, we design and we plan and we implement into the community service. So all these are interrelated with each other. A simple bus accident, we can think about the mechanical part of the bus. Is it mechanical defective? Then that car model will be obsolete in near future. We have to bring up in different types of what you call the car mechanism. Like the first time one person was motivated to fly, Wright brothers. So they're differently trying hard to do an aeroplane. And they are successful. They are successful to design the flight. But that flight is not today's flight. Today I'm not thinking about how Wright brothers developed that flight. We just enjoy the ride, we go airport and board. Oh, we cannot sit, we have to go down immediately. We have to switch on the mobile before the plane stops. We have to inform everybody. Can we think that when Graham Bell discovered the phone, that time and this time is same? The different planning approach, the work approach is different. The design approach of the mobile approach is different. The phone in Graham Bell discovered and the phone we are using now with Android and other Apple capacity, that is different. So the business is different. Not business is different, business presentation is different. Business is same, communication. That time he think that I will fly like bird, but now it is a commuted service, a business service to communicate each other. Place. So the mechanical system of the car will obsolete or not, we can think from this. And we have to think design. As I told in COVID, we think about the hospital, we plan about the PPE, face masks, and there are different types of designer come with different types of planning in their mind. We know that. I am giving highlight. I don't have the slide here now. I will show, means I want to tell you that one person think, okay, this is the right time to do business. So all the masks, they are in the waste garbage, we have to drag it out. So he employs some persons to take out the mask from the garbage, press, pack again, resell. A bad approach of planning and implementation, and that caused him, not caused him as well, caused the population in distress. He is caught, that is okay, but he supplied the mask with the infection that caused more person danger to life. So there comes the design and proper planning with empathy. The empathy should be there in the business. We should know that yes, there should be a community service in our mind. Now, with this, we have tried to solve and create an impact on the society by creating an automated honking system beside the bend in the hilly area of Himalayan range by HP, a oil company. So when the car comes into the bend, the honking system automatically honks. So the driver is alert. Yes, there's a bend, so I have to drive slowly, I have to drive carefully, I have to be alerted. I cannot sleep. So this is the impact created by HP. So HP company got the impact that yes, they have done this. And it is solved one of the problem of major accident in the severe brave winds of Himalayan range. So it has been installed in preliminary and prototype manner, and also now installed in a massive manner. So this is the impact of the society from the design and thinking process resulted. The simple car accident gives a design thinking and the innovation idea with the IT support system and a business model developed. Many persons worked behind to make this system, electronic system, device, to make automated honking system. The people working in factory, people working in IT system, people working in chip factory, people working in software system, everybody work together to make this outcome. So this is the outcome and society impact for solving the problem of accident. So with these, we have many pollution thinking. We don't think about the pollution, we just throw the garbage. We use plastic, we throw on the road. We throw on other house in front like that. But how it affect? All of us know. I don't have to explain here. We know the recent, not recent, before some few years, maybe 1 year, the gas leak from India, one of the factory. And of course, we remember the Bhopal gas leak as well. Many persons lost their life. And in Kolkata also, in fire, due to the factory fire, many persons affected for the leakage of gas. So from there, we have to design the factory in proper manner that where the environmental pollution is less, and how we can lessen the effect of carbon emission in the environment, and of course the gas emission in the environment. Accordingly, we have to plan the design, the architecture of the factory, and we have to implement and create impact in the society. So we are trying to clean our water, but of course we understand that it is not easy to clean whole world's water like this. But yes, even a single effort will cause an impact into the society. Now, I'm giving one example. As my previous speaker was talking about the business and entity, I'm just giving a picture of Ms. Tan. Many of you don't know. Ms. Tan is the founder of Grab. Grab is like Ola, Uber in India. Grab in Malaysia and Singapore, other places is very famous. In Myanmar, what do you call it? Vietnam, etc. Grab is very famous. So when I go to Vietnam, I rode in Grab bike. What is the need? Need is transport. From that lady, Miss Tan Hui-ling, thought that how this transport can we make easier. How we can deliver a food right away in the doorstep. How we can deliver one item from shop to a person, customer, online delivery. So he got motivated, designed the process with the help of the IT and etc. and launched the Grab application. So Grab Bike, Grab Car, Grab in different forms is available in different countries. Malaysia don't have Grab Bike, but Vietnam have Grab Bike. Malaysia have Grab Car. So like this, but what she has done, she was a mechanical engineer, bachelor's degree holder. After that, she worked in McKinsey and she completed the MBA in Harvard. Then she designed think and come up with the idea of founding this Grab. So this is the example of entrepreneurship and design and thinking and how impactful the discovery means the launching of this Grab. You can easily understand. During this COVID, many persons cannot go out for food or travel is restricted in Malaysia. We have to order only by Grab. And of course, the Grab driver have been protected with masks, etc. They have given. Okay? But I'm just talking about the design, planning, and the impact creation here. And of course, when we are COVID affected, we cannot go inside the hospital to collect the sample. We have to think how we can do it. So we use robotic assistance system to take the sample from the human by patient sample. And we also create automated UV and sterilization system which is moving and making the area sterilization. So these are the processes evolved due to some initiation of means the COVID affected. Like now, I am talking with you in Google Meet, sitting in Malaysia, you are in India. Very easy. That everybody sitting in home or office, they are listening and they are thinking about other things as well. Now, this is not possible before COVID. After COVID only, we are very much familiar with these online platforms. So we have to design how this online platform will be more friendly and user friendly, and then only we can using these platforms. So these automated sample collection, automated sterilization system, all these come up due to the COVID mainly. Before COVID it was slow, now after COVID it is very fast, it is moving and the impact is very effective. And we can see that in one of the airports of Singapore, they're using the automated robotic system to scanning the temperature of the passengers. Of course, we here in Malaysia using, like India, we have Argo Shipyard, but here in Malaysia we have My Sajatra app, and it is very strict. Without My Sajatra app, during COVID time, we cannot go anywhere, and we cannot enter into the office, building, shop, anywhere. So if we cannot use the My Sajatra app, I cannot do anything. But in India, there are many mass population is out of mobile reach, so we cannot use the Argo Shipyard app so strictly. So there is different types of planning we have to implement in India. So the design and planning system of COVID means this IT application in different countries have in different way, but the implementation system also different. So the design process have an impact on the society. That's COVID-19 give an impact on the society, so that we are compelled to have robotic system of automated temperature scanning. Now we have sanitization started different places, and in Malaysia they have started automated food delivery in the restaurant. No person is coming to take our order and to give delivery of the food. I go over one restaurant and I told, where is the menu card? So, sir, book in your phone. Then my missus told, my phone don't have any internet. I have internet, but she told, okay, my phone don't have any internet. I want menu card. Then they told, no, madam, there is Wi-Fi. You can see in the table, you can just log in with that and check. Means they will not take order if you don't do. Then download the order and checking the menu card. Of course, we cannot understand properly because we are not so friendly with the different types of menu in online system and what we choose. So this one click, that one click, that one click. So you order more what we need. Maybe means next time we will not do that mistake. But it is not mistake. We enjoyed that. It is not that we order so much, but what is we can order is order. But online system designing, online ordering, and then the food coming by trolley to deliver. But that time, that person give the food delivery by hand, and of course, he give water as well, etc. But here, in many places, fully automated food delivery system is there. We have to order, then automatic the tea, etc. will come by the delivery, food delivery, robotic system, automated trolley. So this is the design of menu planning, how we make the software, how that software will be utilized in the mobile, and how it can be implemented into the restaurant area. Same thing is implemented in the hospital area. The automated robotic trolley is going to the COVID wards and etc. to deliver the patient's medicine on time. Because the nurse cannot enter into the COVID ward, he or she give the automated trolley instruction to go to the patient bed and give the medicine. So these are the implication and implementation of the design and planning process in different sectors of our life. So a successful organization thrives because it is able to deliver product and services that satisfies and excites its customers' need in one form or another. And as today we have different types of modern technologies, AI technologies, machine learning, etc. is inbuilt in our life, everyday life. So we are also want different types of service in our doors. Fingerprint means finger step, not as a doorstep. So our dream and vision with the goal should match with the action. Then only we can get success. One person with a PhD in microbiology come as a lecturer. After a few days, means after few months, I see he has no intention to do any work. He just come and give lecture and go out. I ask him, you are a PhD holder in microbiology. Why are you not doing anything? Why you do the microbiology study? Is my habit to ask why you study. Like today interview also I ask, why you do a BSc genetics? So like that, I asked him that why you do microbiology? He said, no, sir. I want to do medical, so I don't get chance. My father want that I want to be doctor. I don't want to get chance, so I study with bioscience. Then I do microbiology because it's medical oriented. I tell, okay, then why you do PhD? No, PhD will give me a job prospect, so I do PhD. So I told, as soon as you do PhD, it is a specialized in the microbiology, so you have to serve the society with your knowledge and impact. But he told, no, sir, this is okay, I have got job of lecturer, that is okay. I can satisfy my family needs and etc. So Maslow's need of hierarchy ends here. He has reached his goal. But why he is not interested? Because he don't love the microbiology subject. What he loved? He loved to make menu for the canteen. He loved to enjoy the food delivery. He spent more time in canteen to manage the mess canteen. He buys the different types of vegetables, etc., different foods, and etc., delivery of food, different types of cooking. He is very much interested in that. So, as his father inspired him to do medical, he failed and do microbiology, but his intention was to do food service. So if he open a catering service, it will be or a hotel or restaurant, it may be flourish and flourish. We cannot imagine. So there will be a dream of us which we have to cultivate, that what we want, what is our vision. And then we have to feel the target. As Swami Vivekananda told, stop not till the goal is reached. So we have to fix the goal, then only we put it in our action and get success. You can see this picture of Carey Mullis. In 1984, he awarded with Nobel. He is the discoverer of PCR, polymerase chain reaction. In 1984 and now in 2022, after how many years? 84, 94, 30 years. Sorry, 94, 24. Around 40 years going now. But after 30 years already, the PCR is every corner of our society. All COVID patients, we are telling, go and take COVID PCR test. But that PCR was discovered by these Carey Mullis in 1984. So with that discovery, what it think that one reaction will do like this polymerase chain reaction, that will be modified with different aspect. The machine is modified. The diagnosis system has been modified, and we are using this in our everyday life. In different diagnosis, not only COVID, we do hepatitis C, hepatitis B, HIV, viral load, micro TB diagnosis, thalassemia, many things. Everything we do on PCR by technology. So that design and thinking of the discovery means the process of polymerase chain reaction, denaturation and the annealing with the Taq polymerase. How impactful we can easily understand. So I think my time is going to end, and now we have to think. We are working with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 2030, and there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals for the society, for the community. It is not for any individual. So the target is first, no poverty. Second is zero hunger. third, good health, fourth, quality education, fifth, gender equality. Like this, number 17, partnership for the goals. Now we can think, if there is poverty, how we can think about food? We cannot get rid out of zero hunger. We cannot get reach the zero hunger. If we are hungry, if we are poor, we cannot think about good health, like the gold mine worker I shown. If we are not in good health, we don't have food, how we can think about the quality education? For that, different country government like India have midday meal program, so that the person get food and come to school for study. Support. So if we are poor, we cannot do food, we don't have good health, we cannot think about the education. So all goal is finished. And of course, if we don't have any education, how we can provide good health service? And if we cannot provide good health service, how and education, how we can grow vegetables? We cannot get rid of zero hunger. If we don't have the knowledge of how the society is affected, how the society is poor, then we cannot get rid of poverty. So all these goals are interlinked with each other. Life below water is affected by the life on earth, as I show you in Mercury positioning. So we have to design every process, single networking between all the goals, that how we can achieve our target for the society to create an impact. How we can save our humankind to up. How we can support our business in our everyday life. Any business, even we are breathing, that also business. Even we are talking, that also business. And even we are going to make an open shop, that also business. So all these goals are interlinked with each other, and we have to think about this accordingly to plan and implement. So we have to look out from the academia and think, design what is the need as per our capacity, and create the impact on the society. So with this, I am ending my talk here, and we must do networking and collaboration, as I am now in connection with Dr. Prasenjit. How? Because for the networking and collaboration. So with this networking collaboration, we can try to make an impact in the society. And for this, I am again thankful to Institutions Innovation Council of 𝑚ckVIE for inviting me this Impact Lecture Series 2022, sponsored by MOE's Innovation Cell and AICTE New Delhi, India. Thank you. And if anything you want to share, I'll be happy to discuss with you. Thank you. Please.
Any question from the audience end? The podium is now open for asking questions from the audience end. Hope, sir, there is no question from the audience end.
Anybody?
Extreme, thank you, sir.
Anybody want to share their views? I can see now 29%, including me. Anybody, sir? Madam?
Prasenjit, sir, if you wish to ask some questions, you can ask.
Anything, share your views, if no question also. Any problem in unmute or something? No.
No, sir, your voice was perfectly okay.
No. Anybody can unmute yourself, then everybody can unmute.
Better, sir, you just call them, then only, otherwise, I think nobody will respond.
Okay, I think they can. If you have anything, you can write in chat box as well. Otherwise, madam, please, if you have anything to
Okay.
discuss, please.
So I don't have. I was listening to yours, and I was very delighted. See, I'm the anchor of this program from the morning itself, and I heard two very good sessions. Thank you, sir, for being with us and sparing your valuable time in just to share your views and your scholarly articles amongst us. So we are really very happy to hear you, sir. And in our future events, we would be expecting you. So we would be again obliged if you just feel free and just spare you some more time with us in your future. Thank you, sir. This event has come to an end, and we are really thankful to Sandeep sir and Swati ma'am for sparing their time and making us learned in those topics of design thinking and startup policy. Today's event has come to an end. So thank you very much for attending this till end. And stay tuned. We will be there back in the recent days. Thank you all. That's all for today. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.